Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is ECW. Yes, I know. It's the show of the week. Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself blessed by everything going on in this show. Tonight in Long Beach, California, we have a big show for you on its way. We are 2.5 weeks out from the next ECW pay-per-view, which, aptly named given the heat anywhere in the world right now apparently, is called ECW Heatwave. It's going to be a great show, that's for certain, and tonight is going to be the same as well. You see right there, we're going to be kicking things off by hearing from the #1 contender for the ECW Television Championship in Kenny Omega. At Heatwave, Kenny Omega will face Tetsuya Naito for that ECW Television Championship. I know, it's going to be an incredible match. You're on the edge of your seat already, and we're still 2.5 weeks out from it. But what will Kenny Omega do to try and get under the skin, maybe, of Tetsuya Naito? You know, we've still got 3 ECWs between now and then for Omega and Naito to clash, to butt heads, and to try and goad the other one into a bit of a mistake before we move on to that all-eventful encounter at Heatwave. Kenny Omega here tonight will have this piece to say on becoming #1 contender last week. Tonight, though, we only have a 4-match card for you, and there is good reason for that. After what we've seen over these last few weeks between Neville and Kyle O'Reilly, both trading 1-4 with each other, we're going to settle business here tonight. 2 out of 3 falls match. The winner becomes the #1 contender for the ECW Championship at Heatwave. It is that simple. I am willing to put that on the line here tonight. If Neville wins, it's Neville versus Seth Rollins. If O'Reilly wins, he gets another crack at Seth Rollins. A lot on the line in that main event here tonight. A lot on the line in this episode of ECW. It's going to be a great one. We've got another debut for you on its way as well later on tonight. And we've got the Wyatt family meeting with MKUlTRA. Get ready. It's going to be a good one. But before we can get to any of that, let's go to Kenny Omega. And here he is. He had to fight against Roderick Strong last week to become #1 contender. Both men sacrificed an awful lot for that opportunity at Heatwave. Well, now here tonight, Kenny Omega gets to speak for the first time since becoming #1 contender, and really for the first time since Guilty as Charged, where of course he lost to Living Dangerously, sorry, where of course he lost to Seth Rollins. Anyway, Kenny Omega opens up the show by talking about that match last week, and he says for all the talk that he goes on about, Roderick Strong really was something to go on with. For all, you know, because as much as Kenny Omega loves to run his mouth, last week he realized truly what Roderick Strong is all about, and he respects that. But he knows that he won't become the ECW Television Champion by just respecting Roderick Strong. He knows that 2.5 weeks from now, he has got to fight Tetsuya Naito. He knows mind games of Naito. He knows how Naito operates, and he's going to do his best to counter it. Tetsuya Naito can be as tranquilo as he wants. He can be as calm as he wants, but the fact of the matter is, you cannot play mind games with Kenny Omega. He's a 2-time King of the Ring winner. He's the former Intercontinental Champion. He is the king of wrestling for a reason. You cannot play with the mind of a king. And Omega wants to let Naito know that by no means is he going to let this one be an easy fight for him at all. He's not going to get in the mind of Omega. If he wants to walk out of Heatwave with the title, he is going to have to beat Omega senseless. Naito may be able to do it, but Omega is going to do it first. And when he beats him senseless, it'll be goodbye and good night for El Ingobernable and that ECW Television Championship. Kenny Omega feeling pretty confident about his chances at Heatwave, and in a way he should be. Omega is a fine athlete. Not as fine as Seth Rollins, but a fine athlete in his own right. Omega and Naito is going to be an absolute spectacle 2.5 weeks from now. Alright, let's get things cracking on ECW then, shall we? Let's not wait around any longer. Kenny Omega and Tetsuya Naito will have their moment in the spotlight to shine, but right about now it's time we focus on that Cruiserweight division once again, and here comes Akira Tozawa, ready to go one-on-one against the new debut here in ECW. Yeah, I know, the new debut, but I hear you say, but excuse me, Mrs. Akrisco, Mr. ECW General Manager, Mr. A-Show General Manager, Drew Gulak debuted last week. Hey, you're right. But that doesn't mean we're done here. We got another debut on its way, baby. And that debut is on its way right about now, and he's going to be taking on Akira Tozawa. In what, you know, is obviously a tough match to debut in. Akira Tozawa, a tough competitor, former Cruiserweight champion. I'm not making these matches easy for these debuts, and I'm not making it easy for this man either. Here comes the newest debut to ECW. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Mustafa Ali to the Cruiserweight division on ECW. I am the greatest. I know. I find talents. I grab them. I don't let NXT have them. I don't let any other roster have them. I have them. Mine. I have the best wrestler in the world. I have the best champion in the... Oh, no, they're the same things. And I have some of the best talent in the world. And Mustafa Ali is only adding to what is a reigniting of the Cruiserweight division. A reinvigorating of the Cruiserweight division. Just think of all the talents. Drew Gulak, Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, Zack Sabre Jr. Hell, I'll even say Neville, even though I don't really like him that much. That Roderick Strong can classify as a Cruiserweight if he's feeling stretchy enough. Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann. Did I name Tozawa? I don't know. Hey, there's names off the top of my head for you. Just those right there. I think we're pretty good, and I think we just got better with the addition of Mustafa Ali. Ali getting ready to make his debut on ECW here against Akira Tozawa. Let us get things going here in this hectic night of ECW action. 4 matches on its way, but of course the 2 out of 3 falls to come later on tonight to determine the #1 contender to the ECW Championship. That is a match that, of course, you do not want to miss at all. Everything on action here tonight is pretty damn good. I've got to say so myself. The upcoming match, the matchup next, is pretty good, and I'll talk about it when it comes around. But a tag match between members of the Wyatt family and MKUlTRA as well. And I'll talk more about that situation later on tonight. There's a lot on tap here on ECW. Bad blood maybe this weekend, but we want to be the talking point coming out of this week. Covered by Tozawa now on Mustafa Ali, looking to make the debut of the newest signing to ECW as difficult as possible. Good forearm shots here, nice counter there, kicking the leg. And look at this now from Mustafa Ali, an Alpamare water slide early on there. As he seems to take the... Oh, wow. As he seems to take a little bit of a lead now in this matchup. Hard forearm shot, and Tozawa goes down there. Stomp on the arm. And Mustafa Ali from up high with that senton splash. It's a finishing maneuver of Akira Tozawa, of course. His top rope senton splash. Mustafa Ali hitting it from the second rope, but not going for the cover. He's feeling pretty good in his debut right now. But oh, walked right into that step up in Zaguri from Akira Tozawa, who goes in to another early cover. Mustafa Ali letting him know there that there is no chance that he's getting a victory just yet in this one. Nice kicks there and strikes. Spinning kick in the gut now, and up and over goes Mustafa Ali. Is he in trouble here? Oh yes, he is. Akira Tozawa winding up something big. Back suplex on the apron there. Hardest part of the ring for Ali to come down on. That is not a nice receipt at all to receive. Akira Tozawa now up on the top rope. What will he look for here? What will Tozawa look for? Cross body splash from Tozawa, and he goes into the cover looking for the victory, but a kick out doesn't grant him that opportunity. Tozawa now has Mustafa Ali's back to him. Tiger suplex there. Beautiful bridge as well from Tozawa, but a kick out at 1 there means this one is still continuing on. Forearm shots here, counted there. Ali is struggling in his debut, and I just think that's due to the kind of athlete that Akira Tozawa holds himself to be in this position. Up on the top rope though. Oh, the 054 for Mustafa Ali. Blink and you will miss it. Ali looks for the victory and he gets it. That came from nowhere. That came from nowhere from Ali. And in the blink of an eye, Mustafa Ali wins his debut match in this universe. And he is almost so happy about it. Is the Chicago native. Mustafa Ali, your winner here in this one. Akira Tozawa was, to be honest, he was leading the way for a lot of that matchup. He hit definitely the bigger moves, but that face buster, boom, 054 right after it. Thank you very much. This match is over. Mustafa Ali will kick off his ECW career in the win column. A very surprising outcome indeed for Mustafa Ali, but one that he can be happy about. You know, I would say that Drew Gulak's debut was stronger in that regard, but hey, so long as you're getting a win, I mean, that's what matters most, I suppose. Good stuff there. Can't argue against it. We're going to move on to our next contest now. Coming up next, the Switchblade Jay White will go one-on-one against the Psycho Killer Tomasso Ciampa. Batten down the hatches. This one is about to get wild. Alright, let's get a little bit of splaining mode going on then. So, the ECW Tag Team Championship saga can be seen as a little bit of a shit show. There's a lot going on regarding it. There's a lot we need to do regarding it. There's a lot of conflict going on in it, but it's got nothing to do with the Tag Team Champions. The main conflict of the Tag Team division really relies upon MKUlTRA and the Wyatt family, which of course I will get into in their matchup up next. However, we need a #1 contender for the ECW Tag Team titles at Heatwave. That's the only way it can work out. It is unfair for it to work out in any other way. So, with that being said, I looked at the division, I looked through it, and I was wondering, is there anything we can do about this? And I decided that the best thing to do was to go with my gut instinct. And my gut instinct told me that it was time for the Switchblade of Anarchy to get their shot. So, at ECW Heatwave, it will be Sami Callihan and Jay White of the Switchblade of Anarchy taking on DIY for the ECW Tag Team titles. That is final, that has been set, the contract has been signed, and now we go on our way to a match between these 4 guys. Do they respect one another? Maybe, I don't know. Do they all want the same prize? Absolutely in my eyes, otherwise they wouldn't be here if they didn't want the same prize. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple way of looking at it. So as we gear up towards that matchup, Jay White will go one-on-one against Tomasso Ciampa here tonight. I imagine next week we shall have the chance for Sami Callihan to go one-on-one against Johnny Gargano. Because there's no bad blood between either side, there's no animosity, it's just a fact of they all want the same prize and only one of them is going to be able to get it. It's that simple. It's just business at the end of the day when you look at it. They all want the same prize, but only one of them is going to get that gold around DIY's waist. Because DIY, I will say, you know, I don't mean to disrespect them, but they were very lucky to walk out of Living Dangerously with the tag team title still around their waist. They were getting mauled by the Wyatt family, but the involvement of the involvement of MKUlTRA from out of the blue changed the whole game around in that regard, and that meant that all of a sudden DIY held onto the tag team titles, but of course the Wyatt family were victorious by way of a disqualification. They didn't win the tag team titles, but now Bray Wyatt and Raven, their groups have locked horns with one another and are destined to meet. And it only engulfed worse, as we saw last week on ECW, but of course I will get into all of that later on. As for right now, it is the Switchblade of Anarchy and DIY we focus on, and more specifically Jay White and Tomasso Ciampa here tonight. Here's the idea, see, no bad blood between either side, a shake of the hand by both sides as we get things underway in this one. The bell rings and here we go. Got Tomasso Ciampa from the early goings here, trying to get right after Jay White. Switchblade with the height advantage and the weight advantage as well over Tomasso Ciampa, but Ciampa kind of has that, I don't know what the best way to describe it as would be, that kind of, you know, I'm lacking on, I think, the correct term right now. I would call it something like that. He's, that uncanny nature to him, I think would be the best way of describing it. That kind of ability to snap in an instant. And that's what makes him so dangerous in that regard. He can just lose it in a moment and just go flying around the ring, swinging forearms at you, stomping away at you until you can't stand anymore. Whereas Jay White is a much more methodical kind of guy. We see it in the match. In the matches that he's been in, he likes to work down the arm usually. He likes to break away his opponent piece by piece, and then he'll just apply Blade Runner and the matchup is over. So we'll see how those styles go either way. Both men have that sadistic nature to them where they are perfectly fine with hurting their opponents so long as they are victorious. Let's see how that'll work out in this one. Nice lock applied there by Tomasso Ciampa on the arm of Jay White, but Jay White's able to get out of it pretty easy on there. Reverse DDT here. Yes, Jay White will get all of it. And the Switchblade goes into the cover here. An early kick out. Knee in the back now by Jay White. And look at this lovely hold there, stitched in. I am quite a fan of that hold there. And of course, you know, these matches might not be crucial towards the pay-per-view match between both teams. You know, they may not be crucial towards the ECW Tag Team title matchup, but they are great for getting an idea of how your opponent works. You know, it may only be in a one-on-one environment, but you know their strengths, their weaknesses, how they operate, what it does to make them so dangerous, how you can isolate that, and really how you can almost split them away from the ring and make it maybe a one-on-one matchup if, say, one side is weaker than the other. It's a very tactical way you can go about this matchup. Nice work though by Tomasso Ciampa so far to keep Jay White down for extensive period of this matchup. Counter now by Jay White and by Tomasso Ciampa just before that one. Jay White now has him hooked in. Oh, lovely suplex there by White. I gotta say, Jay White has been impressing me since his debut just after WrestleMania, helping to make ECW the brand that it is in his own way. The Switchblade has been helping out the career, of course, of Sami Callihan as well. What are we going to see here now from the ropes? Clothesline! Down goes Tomasso Ciampa as a result of that lariat. Cover by Jay White, but a kick out means this one's going to continue on further. Is he going to look for that lock again? Yes, he is. He has it stitched in here. Tomasso Ciampa's going to have to do his best to get out of it right now. The more powerful Jay White trying to keep it locked in, but no luck there, and Tomasso Ciampa slips his way out of that hold. Ciampa now up on his shoulders. Torture rack maybe? Oh, torture rack facebuster. Love it. Ciampa might have had something planned in the turnbuckle there, but Jay White doing good, getting up to a neutral basis there and just letting Ciampa know that he can't look. Oh, but yes, he can. Ciampa drilled him in the face with that running knee there. And now Ciampa goes back to the turnbuckle. He's ready to pull the trigger here on a running knee. Oh, he got all of it. Cover by Ciampa for the victory over Jay White. 1, 2, and a kick out from the Switchblade. Wow. That was something else, and Ciampa now, the psycho killer within him, riling itself up here in the latter stages of this one, hoping for victory here. Jay White able to counter though, elbow in the gut, and Jay White now brings him in. He locks him in for the Kiwi Crusher, and he got all of it. Kiwi Crusher by White. Will this finish Ciampa? No. Oh, but this might. This might indeed. How quickly everything can turn around. Jay White has him in. Blade Runner. 1, 2, 3. Jay White beats Tomasso Ciampa there. And he took a beating in his own right for it to happen. He got absolutely blasted with that knee in the face. And you saw after it, he was not moving for a while. The referee was slow into count after that knee from Ciampa, so maybe that had a part to play in it. I'm not going to make excuses, though. Jay White beats Tomasso Ciampa here, and that will help the Switchblade of Anarchy on their way to that title opportunity at ECW Heatwave. Make no mistake about it, though. DIY will roll retribution for that, and we'll get it. You know, when they'll get it, pretty simply put, next week, when Sami Callihan will go one-on-one against Johnny Gargano. I will admit that is the case now. I won't try and hide it any longer. It's going to be an entertaining match between them both, as it will be at Heatwave, and as it will be up next. A tag team match is on its way. The grunts, quote-unquote, of either side will face as the leaders watch on closely. It is Alexander Wolf and Luke Harper of MKUlTRA against Aleister Black and Braun Strowman of the Wyatt family. Here we go. Oh god, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get into this whole thing. This is going to be one hell of a debacle, isn't it? So, I said I had news, and I'm ready to deliver that news. You know how there's, well, basically these two similar factions are wanting to rip each other apart? Well, they get their hopes and dreams answered, because at Heatwave, and I can't believe I'm doing this, but at Heatwave we are going to have a 6-man tornado tag between MKUlTRA and the Wyatt family. It will end when all members of one team have been eliminated. And of course, these simple rules will apply, hopefully. I say hopefully because this is one hell of a dangerous match. Or not. There's the Wyatt family. They're in no mood to make an entrance. They just want to get to battle, I guess. Aleister Black gonna start things off against Alexander Wolf here as we get underway in this one. Right, let me quickly try and explain where... Let me try and quickly talk about what I was going to talk about, and that is that at ECW Heatwave, it will be a 6-man tornado tag elimination match between MKUlTRA and the Wyatt family. It's happening, and that's that. It's as simple as that. It is going on, and there is nothing that anyone can do to change that from being the case. There is nothing that Raven can do with any complaining or whining to stop that from being the case. It is happening. There is nothing that Bray Wyatt can do to try and get Raven on his own. It's not happening. It may happen on the way to Heatwave, but it's not happening at Heatwave. It is going to be a 6-man tornado tag. It is going to be an absolute cluster of a match. And I hope we're strapped in and ready for it, because Jesus Christ, we are in for something else when that happens. We really are. There's no other way of saying it. So, just get ready for it, I guess, is the easiest way of looking at it. Here comes Bray Wyatt in this one. Trying to get involved here to help out his members. Oh, cheap shot from Aleister Black, and the Gorilla Press Slam from Braun Strowman now. You saw ECW last week. You would have seen Braun Strowman decimate Alexander Wolf with 2 running power slams, but after the match was done, MKUlTRA stormed the ring and attacked Braun Strowman, left the Monster Among Men down on the mat. That could happen, of course, a takeover. It could be 3-on-1. Strowman could be left on his own, and it could end up being a victory for MKUlTRA at the end of it all. Oh, what a lariat there. We'll see how things will go when that match happens 2.5 weeks from now. I know I'm braced for it. I'm not too sure if the ring and the arena itself will be hosting ECW Heatwave is going to be ready for it, though. That's going to be one where we're going to be needing a lot of security and a lot of measures to make sure that when things do get out of hand, because let's be honest, they are, where they, you know, we make sure that no one gets hurt who shouldn't be getting hurt anyway. Tag made here, and Aleister Black is back to being the legal man in this matchup right now. Jesus Christ, I just... I don't know what I was thinking when I signed that match, but I know for a fact that we are ready for it. Between those two sides, it's going to be oh so personal when they meet. There's no doubt in my mind that that is the case. There's no doubt in my mind that we are in for something cataclysmic between these two sides. Wyatt and Raven are going to be in the same ring. Strowman is going to be in that ring in general. Aleister Black is just going to be throwing himself around and kicking anyone who gets in his way. It's going to be hellacious to witness. I absolutely cannot wait. But it is going to be potentially one of the most dangerous matches we've put on, simply because of the people in the matchup. Alexander Wolf wants back in this matchup. MKUlTRA are struggling against the Wyatt family right now. Here goes Wolf, and he runs right into a German suplex. Business as usual seems to be operating for the Wyatt family. They are in control of this matchup, though they know it. Look at this. Oh, look at that chin lock there by Braun Strowman. The speed within him to execute that kind of move. Oh, God. Alexander Wolf has felt this more than once as of late. And he's about to start feeling it again here. It doesn't get any easier. The pain doesn't subside any lesser. It's going to hurt just as much. Braun Strowman in position. Up in the air. And running power slam. But he doesn't look for the cover. This is the message that Bray Wyatt wants his Wyatt family to send ahead of this, Heatwave. It is going to be a hellacious brawl, but it is going to be one that MKUlTRA won't be emerging from as the winners in any way, shape, or form. A lifeless Alexander Wolf is picked up here. Black Mass. That's it. cover here. There's the count. There's the 2. There's 3. The Wyatt family win it. It's over. It's done. But it won't be that simple when it comes to Heatwave. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is the main event of the evening. The Wyatt family really put into jeopardy the chance I got to talk about stuff, but you know what? That happens. I'm just going to gloss over that. It is our main event of the evening. It is 2 out of 3 falls. The winner becomes the #1 contender to the ECW Championship at... wow, I just blanked. My apologies. At, Heatwave. Neville wants this title chance. He wants to be not only the king of the cruiserweights, but the king of ECW. He wants the British Empire to take over this whole place. And he can only do that with the ECW Championship around his waist. Kyle O'Reilly came oh so close at Money in the Bank, and I will admit that that was the case. If he had one more opportunity, could he make it work? Could he become the ECW champion? If he was given a second chance at Seth Rollins, would that be the case, or am I just talking complete claptrap? I mean, I'd hope I'm talking bullshit, but, you know, you never know sometimes what can happen in this universe. I mean, I would love it if Seth Rollins held onto that title for as long as possible, but there is also a chance that Kyle O'Reilly could just be too much for him, and all of a sudden, O'Reilly manages to find a way to walk out with that ECW championship. However, if O'Reilly was to do that, he'd have to win this 2 out of 3 falls match here tonight, which Neville, of course, wants to win just as badly. He wants to be the #1 contender as well. Only one of them, of course, is going to get that right. So what has happened over these last few weeks? Well, just before Money in the Bank, rather, Kyle O'Reilly beat Neville in a one-on-one matchup, where even through the distraction of Seth Rollins, Neville could not roll up O'Reilly and secure that victory that he oh so desired. However, last week on ECW, following O'Reilly's defeat to Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank, O'Reilly went one-on-one with Neville again in a rematch. This time, Neville jumped the gun, ran through the crowd to attack O'Reilly, and about 2 minutes later rolled him up to secure the victory. Now, while that shouldn't really sit that well within me, there's no doubt in my mind that Neville did it all just for the mind games. He did it for this opportunity. And if Neville's doing it to try and get an opportunity like this, what will he do with an actual opportunity like this presented in front of him? Will he squander the opportunity? Will he make it work? Well, the answer is on its way right about now. 2 out of 3 falls. Only one of these men is going to win twice. Only one of these men is going to face Seth Rollins at Heatwave. Here we go. We are underway in this one. O'Reilly and Neville squaring up with each other. The winner gets that shot at Seth Rollins at Heatwave. The winner gets the chance at the ECW Championship. Is it #2? Is it a second opportunity that O'Reilly can make happen, that O'Reilly can use to make history? Or is it Neville's time to have his chance at the belt? Neville off to a slow start here in this one. Trying to take his time here early on. The referee deciding be very lean with the count, as you can tell. Be very lenient. I think he's giving both guys benefit of the doubt in that one, I have to say. Here we go. This one continues on, though. We go to the continuation of this matchup now, and you go the forearm shots by Neville, raining down on Kyle O'Reilly there, but only momentarily. Sweeps the leg away there, and big time drop kick in there, big time spinning heel kick rather in the face. Kyle O'Reilly in the turnbuckle, in a bit of trouble, and absolutely blasted with that uppercut. Neville goes into an early cover there as he hoped for the first fall. And here we go, Neville now trying to make things repeat themselves almost as quickly as he can, but that didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. Chops and strikes now incoming from Neville. There's already one hell of a target on this man's back given his recent interactions. Oh, with the 4 horsemen. But Neville ain't gonna get the chance to try and take control of this matchup here and kind of put aside those thought processes. Try and put aside those thought processes, or let me explain what I was going to. He has got a target on his back after his recent interactions with the 4 horsemen. He has got problems with them that need to be resolved, and you know they're going to be resolved as well in that regard. It's just a matter of when, really. And of course, if Neville wins here tonight, then that when, the answer to that question is not going to be until after until after Heatwave has passed, because Neville's going to be too involved with Seth Rollins to think about that, to think about the Four Horsemen, to think about any of those guys wanting to get revenge for what he did to Chris Jericho. Kyle O'Reilly, though, might not allow that chance. O'Reilly with that forearm to Neville. It's not looking good right now for Kyle O'Reilly here, but a good counter there means that Neville stays alive in this one, and as both men urgently await getting that first fall over the other, the match can change in the blink of an eye when that first fall happens. The last time we saw a 2 out of 3 falls match was back at NXT TakeOver Toronto in November. Neville now with an imploder 450 there, and he goes into the cover. Will this get him the first fall here tonight? No. It was the first fall of ECW's show, but it was not the first fall for Neville in this 2 out of 3 falls match. Well, the King of the Cruiserweights is doing his best job to make sure that there is no control taken in this matchup by Kyle O'Reilly. Neville now looked propped up and ready to go for something, but O'Reilly with a counter there finally. Neville sent over that top rope. Oh, good God, Kyle O'Reilly has something devious in mind. O'Reilly, no. DDT onto the apron. Look at the way Neville's head bounces off the apron here on the hardest part of the ring. Kyle O'Reilly's frustration as to what happened last week airing out there in its fullest grievance. But look at how Neville can fight back in this one. I don't know how he does it, but Neville stays alive here. Neville now. Oh my God! Oh, Jesus! Corkscrew splash there, or a rotating splash rather, onto the outside. Jeez, what a risky maneuver there from Neville. But he's looking to try and take control now. Neville in the ring, big time drop kick, and down goes O'Reilly. Cover after it. I was going to say, I think Kyle O'Reilly's in the ropes. He most certainly was there. Neville now looking to recreate last week. He rolls up O'Reilly. Will this be fall number 1 here? There's 2 and a kick out. Oh, but he sunk there to one knee. I think that DDT did catch up on him. Oh, but a knee there from O'Reilly. And another. The referee blinding our view there. Perhaps doing us a favor because we could hear how ruthless those knees were anyway. Kyle O'Reilly now. O'Reilly looking for a guillotine choke here. Neville's in huge trouble. O'Reilly has it locked in. Locked in deep as well. Guillotine choke on Neville after the DDT on the apron. Will this be first fall the way of O'Reilly? Neville won't want to tap out. Neville will not want to tap out to O'Reilly again. He tapped out to him before living dangerously. And he taps out again. O'Reilly gets fall number 1. And look at how this one goes, though. The match continues on instantaneously. And O'Reilly will immediately look for fall number 2. O'Reilly chasing the dragon. And O'Reilly could be chasing a second shot at Seth Rollins with it. He covers Neville here for a clean sweep. There's 1. Oh my goodness me. Neville kicked out at 1. I don't know how, but Neville just did that. Neville kicking out almost right away there and keeping this matchup alive for him. Neville, oh! Sunset flip powerbomb to the outside, and Neville now has returned control in this matchup. Is the King of the Cruiserweights going to find a way to even the scoring here? Shooting star press by Neville. He hooks the leg of O'Reilly to even the scoring, and no, O'Reilly can still kick out. But it might not be for much longer. Neville going back up to that top rope. Neville, red arrow from Neville. Take a look at that move, and that could be the one that evens the scoring. Neville covers O'Reilly. 1, 2, 3. It's 1-1, and it's coming down to the final fall. Neville is ready, and he's waiting for O'Reilly to stand per the request of the referee there. Here we go. The final fall. It all comes down to this. Whoever wins it is going to get that opportunity at Heatwave. I've got to give credit to Neville as well. He beat O'Reilly with a legitimate victory. He beat him with a red arrow. No roll-up, no shenanigans. He beat him. Plain as you like. Oh, no, but this isn't the way to do it. This isn't the way to beat him. Neville rolls up O'Reilly. Kick out at 2, though. Oh, thank God. Discus forearm, though. Neville realizing that he has got to do a lot here to be victorious. He has got to put everything into every move now to beat O'Reilly here tonight. Oh, my God. Up on the top rope. Neville again, went for the imploder 450 but took too long. O'Reilly with the counter, but Neville's speed just too much and too quick for O'Reilly to counter against it, and this time he gets the Hurricanrana. The desperation sinking in now. Neville goes into the cover, but he can't get more than a 2 count. We're seeing a lot more of the old Neville emerging in this one. He goes to the top rope again here. He takes it to that high-risk district. Is it going to pay out the way he wants it to? Hurricanrana by Neville, and he goes for the cover. Hooks both legs in. Will this do it? No. God. Neville trying to go for the cover off of every single move in his arsenal, and it's just not enough to keep O'Reilly down. O'Reilly counters. Hard forearm shot there. And O'Reilly's going to go back to the guillotine. Back to the guillotine. Look at it, locked in on Neville. He's thinking of that second shot at Seth Rollins. He's thinking of making it work where the last plan failed. He's thinking of that grand plan. He's thinking of being champion, but only thinking because Neville is still fighting. This has been absolutely incredible. What a main event here. But neither guy is letting the other one have control. Neither guy is going to let the other one win here. It's a fight to the death right now. Even Neville's ditched the roll-ups and all that. Neville trying to win by the most legitimate fashion he can. Neville wants to become #1 contender by being the best. But how much has either man got left in them? Neville now taking a page out of O'Reilly's book. Regal Plex and another cover with 1, 2 and a kick out. Oh my God. How many kickouts have there been in this thing? Neville, forearm shot, missed the shot though. Missed what he was looking for, and O'Reilly can make him pay here. O'Reilly, fisherman suplex there, and the bridge. Will this do it? Neville says no way and kicks out right away. Is O'Reilly sensing the end though? Well, he might not be yet because Neville's still up on his feet. Neville now has him in position. Reverse Hurricanrana. Oh my God, it could happen. It could happen. Neville dragging O'Reilly to the middle of the ring. Neville's going to go for it. Rings of Saturn on the bloodied Kyle O'Reilly. Will this end it? Will O'Reilly tap out? He's got it locked in so deep. Look at the hold. Look at how O'Reilly is in excruciating agony in the middle of the ring with nowhere to go. It's locked in. O'Reilly's heart of desire, though, tells him to keep fighting. I can't believe it. O'Reilly is still in this one. He gets out of it. And O'Reilly, yes! Armageddon's locked in. Kyle O'Reilly, is this his calling? Is it Heatwave for O'Reilly? Is it Seth Rollins? Neville taps out. Oh my goodness. What a greedy fight from Kyle O'Reilly. What a fight from O'Reilly. What a contest he put in there. The blood, tells the tale of it all. Kyle O'Reilly is the winner. He went through Seth Rollins. He went through the blood that was dripping down his face, and he made it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, at Heatwave, it's on again. Kyle O'Reilly versus Seth Rollins, round 2. Will O'Reilly falter once more, or will he pick up where he left off, jump the final hurdle, and become ECW champion? Time will only tell when it comes to that, but as for tonight, what a contest, what a main event. Another great episode of ECW, sealed in the pocket. That ends this episode, universe. Thank you guys for watching, take care guys, and ta-ra.